Hello, everyone. Podcast time. We have not done one since week one, actually, and this time it's just me. We're just gonna try this out. It probably won't get that many views, but whatever. We're gonna go over the week 13 games and then make my predictions for week 14. So we're gonna start off with insane game. Only happened four other times in NFL history. Cowboys Seahawks, no punts the entire game. Cowboys win this game 41-35. We proved we can actually beat a team above 500, but then they went back down to 500 after beating them, so that's fun. Dak Prescott is continuing his MVP campaign. Pollard did okay. He's actually been struggling a lot. My rule of thumb with running backs actually is if you're getting less than 4 yards per carry, then I'm not going to deal with you. And right now, Pollard's sitting at 4.1. He had 3.4 yards per carry last night, or Thursday night, actually. And I'm going to try giving an MVP for every single game, like game MVP kind of thing. Actually, surprisingly, D-line only got one sack. I can't remember a time that the D-line didn't get in as much as they did. They hardly ever got in. I personally watched this game as a Cowboys fan. DaRon Bland got his annual pick, or weekly pick, but the Cowboys, they looked very iffy. Seahawks played very smart. I've talked to a lot of Seahawks fans, and they said this was the best game they've played all year. And they were dissecting us, especially DaRon Bland. He got burnt to hell by DK Metcalf. And Geno Smith played amazing. DK Metcalf had a hat trick. Honestly, if the Seahawks won, he'd be MVP by far. Charbonnet, I thought we were letting him loose a lot, but surprisingly, he did not play as good as I thought. 19 carries for 60 yards. And my MVP goes none other to Dak Prescott, who's actually number one in MVP voting now. He had 29-41, 299 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks, 7 carries for 23 yards. He ran it when it mattered despite only having 3.3 yards per carry. So, moving on, Colts-Titans, another thriller. Overtime, Titans scored a field goal, Colts responded with a touchdown, and they won. Honestly, Derrick Henry went off. He got hurt. It wasn't concussion. It makes sense. This dude is a beast. He's not going to get concussed. But he went off. He's been very iffy, though. Like, he's had games where he's gotten, 20 yards in, 15 attempts. And then he's had games where he's had 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. So, he's been very on and off, very iffy. Will Levis, thing is with Will Levis, I might be, no disrespect to him, but he looks like, he seems like a Mike White type player, where he went on, a couple games where he just went on, this, Lynn Sandy run, and then he just got brought back to down to earth instantly. So, DeAndre Hopkins got set loose. So did, I'm not going to try to spell that name, Chigoziem Okonkwo. Yeah, I tried. And now looking on to the Colts, Gardner Minshew is low-key playing pretty good. He's been playing good enough to win ball games. I mean, there's 7-5 for a reason, after all. And, so this game he had 312 yards and 2 touchdowns. I don't know where Jonathan Taylor went. I'm assuming he got hurt. Zach Moss got put into check, though. That's something notable. Alec Pierce, 3 for 100, okay. And so did Michael Pittman, 11 for 105. And then you got Ebukam and Kwity Paye with 2 sacks. And my MVP, again, I'm going to have to give it to a quarterback. I'm going with Gardner Minshew. He played a really good game on top of scoring the touchdown, which I actually don't know how the touchdown went. But 26 of 42 with 312 yards, 2 touchdowns. Didn't run the ball at all, but... And now it's time for the second most boring game, which is very sad to say, but the second most boring game of the week. Falcons beat the Jets 13-8. Okay. This is going to be fun. Desmond Ridder played like Desmond Ridder. Kyle Pitts was the leading receiver with 50 yards. And Tim Boyle played Tim Boyle through his weekly interception. Dalvin Cook led the rushing with 35 yards. And Breece Hall had 13 for 16. This game, it's got to be defense, right? Okay, so you got Quentin Jefferson with 1.5 sacks. Jermaine Johnson with 1.5 sacks. They both played good. Did not pick off Desmond Ridder, which I'm surprised about. Tim Boyle got picked off once, and I'm actually going to give it... I'll give the MVP to Jesse Bates. Yeah, 5 tackles, 1 pick. He played good. At least in a defensive game, he played good. Back to getting a shootout. 33-28, Lions win. Went up 21 to start off the game, and then they only put up 12 points in 3 quarters, with the Saints putting up 28. But hey, the score is what matters most. Jared Goff played good. He's been either throwing up like a crap ton of yards or he's been kind of getting contained. Jahmyr Gibbs did good. He had 8 for 60. But David Montgomery ran the ball a lot. And then Sam Laporta went off. Looking at defense, Brian Branch with another interception. Brian Branch has been fun to look at. And then for the Saints, so I think Derek Carr got hurt. Now, what this means for the Saints, to be honest, I don't care about the NFC South. It's just a rat race for who can get a first-round exit and a worse draft pick, even though they should get a better draft pick. So Derek Carr being hurt, I feel bad, obviously. Like, I hope he has a fast recovery. He played good this game. I don't know if it's anything serious. Just checked, he got a concussion. So he'll probably be out for the remainder of the year. Maybe be able to play the last 2 weeks, I'm assuming. But he did play a good game this game. Jameis Winston came in. He had 2 completions for 40 yards. Taysom Hill also got his usual reps. This time, I'm going to give MVP to Sam Laporta, the tight end for the Lions, because he had 9 catches for 140 yards and a touchdown. So that is MVP worthy. Next up, the Denver Broncos taking on the Houston Texans, one of the most anticipated games of the year. Now, Denver Broncos just went on a 5-game win streak, so they were bound to lose. I mean, every team is when they go on a hot streak. The Texans bounce back win, good job. Russell Wilson, this was his first horrendous game since Sean Payton was at the helm. Like, he had some iffy games, but he never had a horrendous game. This game was absolutely horrendous. 15 of 26, 186 yards, and 1 touchdown, 3 picks. Run game was I guess he ran for a touchdown. Okay, in terms of passing, this was a horrendous game for Russell Wilson. They got a lot of sacks, actually. They got quite a few sacks. Looking at the Texans, the Stroudinator with 16 of 27, 274 yards and a touchdown. Davis Mills got a pass. I don't know why. I'm assuming he's hurt. I'm assuming he's fine because I haven't really heard too much, which is good. Dameon Pierce keeps getting locked. Again, give the ball to Devin Singletary. For one, I have him in fantasy. That's irrelevant. But 2, he went off the moment you gave him a chance. Like, he went insane. So please, just give the ball to Devin Singletary. Nico Collins went off. Tank Dell actually got hurt. Now, I don't think this will affect the Texans as much as people are anticipating, and this is largely due to the fact that C.J. Stroud can make anybody good. You can look at this team. You got Nico Collins, Brevin Jordan with 60-plus yards, Andrew Beck, Devin Singletary, Noah Brown. Dalton Schultz wasn't even playing. Dare Ogunbowale, Balwala, I don't know how to say that name. Like, C.J. Stroud can make anyone good. He's kind of like Dak in terms of, like, he's going to spread the ball out a lot, and he can literally make anyone good. So, Nico Collins is the game MVP. 9 receptions for 191 yards. Actually, I'm giving it... Oh, okay, so it's between him and Derek Stingley, because Stingley got 2 interceptions, which were, again, 2 of his 3 picks, which were huge. And then, I'll give it to Derek Stingley because I haven't seen a dude with multiple interceptions so far. So I'll give it to him with 2 interceptions. This is the worst game I have ever seen in a while. 6-0, Chargers beat the Patriots. This might as well be a baseball score. It didn't actually be an entertaining baseball game. Herbert has been he has not been playing good. Again, you can blame the coaching, you can blame the defense all you want, but the truth is, Justin Herbert's just not having a good year. This dude, 3,000 yards, 20 touchdowns, 6 picks. The thing is, though, these picks are happening when they matter most. And this dude has a team that, granted, their coaching has been horrible, but Justin Herbert should still be playing better. He's been making costly mistakes when it matters most. They've had, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They've had 8 one-score games, and they have not won all of them because they're 5-7. They have lost quite a few. I think almost all their wins besides one, all their losses besides 2 were one-score games, which they've had 7 losses. So if they win all those games, hey, they're 10-2, and let's just say that's a 50-50 kind of thing. they're still 8-4, 9-3. That's still a playoff team, and Justin Herbert has not been able to get it done. Now you can blame the coaching all you want, but at the end of the day, you also have to put on some blame on the leader of the team, which is Justin Herbert. So that's my Justin Herbert rant. I try to make this game as entertaining as possible. I don't really want to look at this. Wait, where was the touchdown? Whoever got the pick six wins MVP, I guess. I don't know who got the pick six. Oh, wait, no, they got 2 field goals. Wow, no touchdowns this entire game. No one wins MVP. There's no touchdowns. Next up, we got one of multiple upsets. This was actually a very upsetted week. Cardinals beat the Steelers 24-10. This was a big game. Now, you can... And Kyler Murray, bounce back game. Kind of. This MVP, whoever won MVP was clear cut. Granted, Kenny Pickett wasn't playing. Mitchell Trubisky still didn't play that bad, though. Najee got contained. Again, same thing with the Dameon Pierce thing. Start Jaylen Warren. Please. I actually don't have him in fantasy this time, but I need you to start Jaylen Warren. He has been insane. He's got a 70-plus yard run. This is the thing where Najee Harris is only starting right now because of draft stock. He was picked first round from Bama. He has all of this glory. If the roles were flipped, Jaylen Warren would be a clear-cut first round or first string. So, looks like the Cardinals just played better. They didn't get any sacks, no picks actually. So it looks like the Steelers. But I think it's more of a sense the reason why the Steelers lost because it didn't really look like they messed up too much. It's just because with Kenny Pickett getting hurt, your game plan shrinks. All of your plays that you want to run shrink because you can't do as much with a worse quarterback. That's not me dissing anyone. That's just a fact. You can't, it's like if you had Dak Prescott and then he all of a sudden got hurt, your game plan's going to shrink with Cooper Rush. I saw firsthand 2 years ago last year. When Cooper Rush was throwing a lot more dump offs, we were running the ball a lot more. You can't do as much. That is just physically not. You just physically can't do as much. And if you can, then he might as well be your starting quarterback. That's just the truth. Now, MVP, this is pretty clear. James Conner, 25 carries, 105 yards, 2 touchdowns. One of the best games I've seen from him in a while. Another honorable mention, Trey McBride. Dolphins Commies, this ended as expected. The Commanders have allowed 90 points in the last 2 games as they lost this one 45-15. The Dolphins continuously beat on teams below 500, and we'll see how they do against teams above 500. Devon Achane is not human. He is a highlight reel. Tua, 280 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Sam Howell finally didn't pass for over 1,000 yards practically in a game. Brian Robinson played good, but I heard he got hurt, so that is concerning. Again, I don't know what is up with Sam Howell. I don't know if Terry McLaurin got hurt, but he has not been getting Terry McLaurin involved at all. I don't know if this is a Sam Howell thing. I don't know if he's connected with other players like Curtis Samuel because he's been getting involved a lot. But Terry McLaurin has not been involved at all. And this is you can feed him the ball. He is a good receiver. It's not like the Commanders have a horrible receiving core. They have a legitimately decent receiving core, but Terry McLaurin's the number one. He has not been getting involved at all. MVP, this is pretty clear cut. Tyreek Hill, he only had 5 catches for 157 yards and 2 touchdowns. No biggie by Tyreek, typical Tyreek stats. This dude is I think Tyreek Hill will win MVP. He is on pace to have, hopefully, 2,000 yards. I'm rooting for him. And as a Cowboys fan, it pains me to say it, but Dak Prescott I'm waiting to say Dak Prescott is an MVP until they actually win against bad teams. Win against good teams. So we have the Bills, Fins, Eagles, and who do we have? Bills, Fins, Eagles, and the Lions. Not in that order, but I'm waiting to see those games to make a proper opinion on Dak Prescott. Now, 2 NFC South teams. That is wonderful. The Panthers lost for the 11th time, and the Buccaneers won 21-18. This game was close. I don't know what to make of it, though. So, Bryce Young, I really am struggling a lot to see if this is Bryce Young's fault for not doing good or if this is his supporting cast. I'm going to assume it's the supporting cast, but Bryce Young is gonna. I don't know. Like Bryce Young, I feel like is gonna have a Justin Fields-esque type opinion. Where like 2 years from now, where like he'll be like, I don't think they'll still have a supporting cast. They haven't really been that good at rebuilding since the Cam Newton era, and they're just Bryce Young is just still not doing good, which. Like, you can say they had a horrible supporting cast 2 years from now, just like you're saying with Justin Fields currently. But you can say Bryce Young's shown flashes of brilliance, which in this case I don't really see. I have seen flashes of brilliance. Justin Fields has had a couple games, which he's been good in. And, like, this is where you start to wonder, is it the team? Is it the quarterback? Like, who is it? Do we know to go in a complete rebuild? Because I know 2 years from now, the Panthers are still going to be again, the first overall pick, or at least a top 5 pick, and they'll be like, quarterback, no quarterback, what do we do? And that's my prediction of the Panthers 2 years from now. Chuba Hubbard went amazing. Chuba Hubbard, I don't know, he went off, but now let's talk about the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are still in the race in the playoffs, despite being 5-7. That's partially due with the weak NFC and the terribly weak NFC South. So, Rachaad White went also insane. And so did Mike Evans. So the MVP is going to Mike Evans with 7 catches for 162 yards and a touchdown. Actually, I haven't given it to a defense player in a while. Okay, you know what? Yeah. We'll give it to Antoine Winfield. 6 tackles, 1 sack, and 1 interception. They can co-op it. Mike Evans and Antoine Winfield. 4 more games. They're all... 3 of them are good. Niners, Philly. Oh, as a Cowboys fan, I love this. Niners destroy Philadelphia 42-19. And Brock Purdy, 310 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. McCaffrey ran all over him. Deebo Samuel, 4 for 116, 2 touchdowns. George Kittle, 4 for 68. Ayuk, 5 for 46 and a touchdown. And the reason why they lost this game is because, not because of the refs. I'm not going to be one of those Cowboys fans who think it's because of the refs. It kind of is. Not because of the refs. Not because they got screwed, the refs screwed them over. It is because the 49ers found the one weakness in Philadelphia, and they exploited it. This is the only team that has also ran on Philadelphia successfully, which I would also like to point that out. Good job for San Fran. And this was a complete team game. Jalen Hurts played okay. Javon Kinlaw had 2 sacks. Javon Hargrave, the former Eagle, had only 2 tackles. Damn, sad. Looking at Philadelphia, Jalen Hurts, 300 yards, a touchdown. He got hurt, and then he was planning on coming back in, which I think he did. And then and the run game got locked up. Passing, they were actually able to pass the ball a lot, but I was watching the beginning, I was watching the end of it. I'm not going to lie, a lot of it was empty stats. So, the reason why San Francisco was able to dominate in Philly the way they did is, you will actually remember me talking about this in a previous video. It is because they exploited the short passing inside the chains, because they only have one linebacker. You can think Nicholas Moreau. He has 9 TFLs, 3 sacks. He's a pass rushing linebacker. I don't care. You have 9 TFLs, you're a pass rushing linebacker. You're a run stopping linebacker. That's what you are. Hassan Reddick, he is literally a defensive end at linebacker. Nakobe Dean, he is hurt. They got Shaq Leonard because they realized, and I don't think no one knew this until the Niners saw this. They exploited the one thing that Philadelphia had as a weakness. Every team has a weakness, and San Francisco just exploited it, and Philadelphia just picked up a player that is probably going to stop that weakness, but hopefully they don't for Cowboys game. Oh, that was so fun. Next game, Rams-Browns. Rams win 36-19. The Browns are riding with Joe Flacco for the rest of the year. He played good, honestly, for his first game back. 250 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did throw a pick, though. Kareem Hunt struggled. Jerome Ford struggled. Actually, no, Kareem Hunt didn't do that bad. Amari Cooper, I think, is out for the year, which is sad to see him go, especially as a Cowboys fan. Matthew Stafford went off. 3 touchdowns, no picks. Kyron Williams has been very good as a running back. Dare I say the Rams found their running back of the future, because they're Royce Freeman. Who else? Darrell Henderson, if he's still on that team. Kyron Williams is the running back of the future for them. He's been going insane. And Puka Nacua with his annual or weekly dominance. Cooper Kupp's been getting locked up. And that's what I started to realize. Now, I can't tell if this is Puka, if this is the injury, if this is people watching him a lot more, or if this is a little bit of everything. I'm going to assume it's a little bit of everything, especially since Stafford got hurt. But previous games when Kupp didn't do that good, I'm like, okay, well, the entire Rams team didn't do that good. I kind of can give him slack for that. If your entire team doesn't do that good, that means you didn't either, most likely. But this time the Rams dominated, and Cooper Kupp was still locked up. 6 for 39. Sure, he did catch a touchdown, but not the greatest game yards-wise, and only 6.5 yards per catch. So Kupp is, so therefore the whole team thing is out of the equation. So that leaves our teams focusing on Kupp more, or our teams just, or is Kupp just letting Puka dominate? And I'm pretty sure they're getting around the same amount of receptions. So this is, or targets. So this is where it comes to Kupp was probably just a 1-year wonder. Now that is where it gets interesting. But enough of that. We'll see later on. MVP here goes to Matthew Stafford, 22 of 37, 279 yards and 3 touchdowns, no picks. Upset number 3 or 4. Packers, Chiefs. This game was crazy. I watched the end of it. It was unbelievable. You can say it was PI on MVP Best, sure, but but Chiefs fans, you also didn't deserve that unnecessary roughness call. Mahomes played fine. He threw an interception. He's been very interception prone this year, as much as I hate to admit it. Pacheco played really good. This was actually a really good game by Pacheco. 18 for 110 and a touchdown. Travis Kelce leading. Number 4, Rashid Rice with 8 for 64. He's been good. Thing is, you say Rashid Rice is good. Is he just wide receiver 1, or is he just a good wide receiver? Now, there's a difference. Wide receiver 1, you trust him to make that play. You trust him to always go out there and ball out consistently. I trust him as a wide receiver 2. I don't trust him at one bit as a wide receiver 1. MVS, crucial drop, but he also got PI'd on. Now, looking at the Packers, Jordan Love balled out. A.J. Dillon did good, actually, for him. Romeo Doubs, 4 for 72. Christian Watson, 7 for 71 and 2 touchdowns. He's been shutting those haters up. Dontavion Wicks getting some 40 yards. And Casey and Nixon was the dude who got the interception. And now, all of a sudden, the Packers are in the playoff picture. And, they were completely out of it, but a combination of the Seahawks sucking and the Packers dominating, they are currently riding 4 of their last 5 games. They have won. They beat the Rams, lost to the Steelers, beat the Chargers, Lions, and Chiefs. And you can make an argument this is a weak part in their schedule. They just beat the Lions and Chiefs. These are 2 of the top 3 teams in their respective conferences. And then you look at this. They could honestly make the playoffs. Giants, win, easy. Buccaneers, win, easy. Panthers, win, no doubt. Vikings, that's questionable. Bears, that might be questionable, but the Packers own the Bears. So Packers again. They could very easily win out and go 11-6. I don't think that many people realize this, but the Packers are a dark horse team. They are my dark horse to make in the playoffs this year. I'm actually putting them in for the playoffs. That is a very easy schedule with 3 really easy games and 2 winnable games. Assuming they split, they're still going 10-7. That's the thing. They have been going off lately. Especially after this momentum they're riding. 3-game win streak. Beat your division rival in the Lions. Beat Patrick Mahomes. This is insane. Bengals, Jaguars. The best game for none of the good reasons. The Bengals got the upset, and Trevor Lawrence played good. He got carted off. It was an ankle sprain. Should be back in the final week or 2 of the regular season, if not playoffs, if CJ Beathard can take him to the playoffs. Which, actually, speaking of him, he did good. He only missed 1 pass and took 10. So that's good in my book. So, looking at the receivers did good. Ingram, 9 for 82. Nice to see that he's still on the rise. And looking at the Bengals now, Jake Browning, how about that? 32 of 37, 354 yards, and a touchdown. And Jake Browning, I'm pretty sure this is his NFL debut. His NFL starting debut. Undrafted out of Folsom. That's his high school. Undrafted out of Washington. And then I'm looking at his college stats now. And he was okay, honestly. As a sophomore, he only dropped 43. He dropped 43 touchdowns to 9 picks. That is crazy. And then his senior year in Washington, which is 2018, he dropped 3,200 yards, 16 touchdowns, 10 picks. Okay. So apparently he's been in the NFL. He just hasn't been drafted yet. That's what I'm getting at. Little flash view of Jake Browning's college career. Joe Mixon, again, he keeps getting locked up. Now, this is an exception. I'm not going to say start Chase Brown just because of one game. Joe Mixon's still the clear-cut number one, even though he's been not that good. Jamar Chase went off. Joe Mixon actually did good in the receiving game. Defense did pretty good, actually. The pressure got there. Trey Hendrickson, Joseph Osai, Sam Hubbard, Jordan Battle, all with sacks. That's 4 sacks. MVP, easily, Jake Browning, my boy. And then this is where you think the entire playoff picture is ruined, because if the Jags win, they would have been the 1 seed. Now they're the 2 seed now they're actually the 3 seed because the Chiefs lost as well. And so that they're both 8-4. Fins are at 9-3. I do not think that will stand at all. The Dolphins will not finish as a 1 seed. I can put a promise on that. And then you also look at the Bengals. They are looking in, actually. They are looking in at in the playoffs. And that's where it gets the most interesting, because you got the Chiefs at the 3 seed. Jags are at the 4 now. Ravens and Dolphins are a game ahead. And then you look at you look at Cincinnati. They're still well in the hunt. I don't think that many people realize they were counting them out. If their quarterback, Jake Browning, continues to have performances like that, they are not going to be counted out whatsoever. Like, Bengals fans, there's still hope. I don't think the Chargers have a chance. I don't think the Raiders genuinely have a chance. The Jets have no chance. And then after that, I think, none. So then it's actually 1, 2, 3. It's a 7-way race between the Steelers, Browns, Colts, and Texans, all at 7-5. Texans will make the playoffs, in my opinion. And then you got the hot Broncos, the motivated Bengals, and the Bills with their better OC. So this is a very interesting. We all kind of suspected this to be a very interesting playoff picture, but to emphasize, Cincinnati is not out of this whatsoever. Hell, New England ain't even out of this, so that's just fun. They're never out of anything, aren't they? All right, moving on. It is time for my Week 14 NFL game predictions. I cannot talk. I might rapid fire through these since I have taken a lot of y'all's time. But first off, we got the Steelers versus Patriots. I will give a score prediction in every single game because why not? Steelers are winning this. Bill Belichick is was featured for Thursday night for the Patriots. That's all you need to know. I got the Steelers winning this, and they are bouncing back. You can say, Mitch Trubisky. He was not bad against the Cardinals. He was not bad. And Mike Tomlin will not lose 2 in a row. And he is cursed to go above 500. So, give me the Steelers. Let's go 17-10. Next up, Texans, Jets. I don't know who the Jets are even starting. I'm going to assume Trevor Siemian. And Texans still got Stroud. Look, no Tank Dell, no problem. They showed that by winning game against the Broncos last week. I'm going to go with the Texans winning 24-7. I think they're going to win pretty convincingly. Next up, the Rams versus the Ravens. Now, the Rams is also a team I will admit I did not talk about enough. Because looking at the NFC playoff picture, the Panthers are eliminated. That's besides the point. You have your usuals, Philly, San Fran, Detroit, Dallas. They're all with 9 wins at least. And then it is a race. Because the Falcons, again, it's the NFC South. It is a 4-way race for 2 spots. Minnesota, Green Bay, Rams, Seattle. They were all 6-6. Now, all these teams, in my opinion, can be dangerous. Now, the Rams were looking in, but again, because the Seattle Seahawks decided to bomb and lose 3 straight, they are now, every single team's in the hunt now. It used to be, it's all a spot for one team, but like all the teams are kind of bad, so it'll just be like the best of the worst. Now it's genuinely in question. Because the Rams, we talked about the Packers earlier, the Rams have 3 winnable games. The Commanders, the Saints, and the Giants. The Ravens, you know what? They're not winning this game. But they will finish with a record of 9-8. And that will probably get them the 7th seed. I will not lie. So give me the Ravens on this one. I think they will win with the score of... I think the Rams are going to keep this a lot closer than people think. I'll go 31-24 Ravens. Next up, Panthers... Cannot talk. Panthers, Saints. Saints win 21-9. I don't care about the NFC South. It is a shit show. Colts, Bengals. This is a genuinely good game because, again, we saw the playoff picture. The Colts are currently with the 7th seed. The Bengals currently have they're currently looking in. They're in the hunt. So if the Bengals were to win, they have the head-to-head record. On top of that, they also could potentially make an appearance in the playoffs. In my script it says the Colts winning. I think the Bengals are going to pull this off. Because the Colts always find random ways to win. The Bengals are going to be like, we're not going to let that happen. The Bengals are going to win in crazy fashion, 24-21. Jake Browning has shown flashes. He's an amazing quarterback, especially for not playing after being out of college for 5 years. So, I got the Bengals winning this. And, yeah. Falcons, Buccaneers. Buccaneers win because Arthur Smith forgot to coach, so Buccaneers will win 27-29. No. 27-19. There. Jaguars, Browns. Another solid game. It is a backup quarterback versus a veteran quarterback. They're both veterans, actually. CJ Beathard versus Joe Flacco. This game, again, similar to the Bengals Colts, is going to be better than people anticipate. And the reason why is because the Bengals, they still have an insane defense. When CJ Beathard was playing the Bengals, especially in that moment, they did not have an insane defense. The Browns, probably the best defense in the league. In my opinion, it's a 3-way race between the Browns, the Niners, and the Cowboys. I still have the Jaguars winning this. I think it'll be a lot closer than people think. I'll take the Jaguars winning this 17-16. I don't think Joe Flacco will be able to put this in the end zone too much. Next up, Lions versus Bears. The Bears will lose. Lions barely beat them last time they played. I do think the Lions will go out there and show them who the real Lions are. No, I'm kidding. But they will go out there. They will win. I think it'll be a lot more convincing than last time they played, definitely. For reference, they barely won last time. They kind of choked. So, Lions, I still think the Lions are winning the division. I got the Lions winning, 34-14. Yeah, I think it's going to be a blowout. 34-14 Lions. They are winning this game by a lot. And it'll start off 7-7 the first, and the Lions are just going to run with it. Seahawks, 49ers. 49ers destroyed them on Thanksgiving last time. Unbelievable. A decimation, dare I say. And now they play the Seahawks again. Now the Seahawks, this is where it gets interesting. Again, I keep looking at the playoff picture, but we're at that time of year where you got to start looking at the playoff picture. Seahawks lose. Buccaneers go in. The Seahawks could lose. Bucks and Saints are still looking in. Again, they're only a game behind. They could potentially make selves for a sneaky good playoff run, especially Seattle. They're on a 3-game losing streak. Rams, they're kind of unstable. Vikings, they don't even know who their quarterback is. So this could literally be set up for us to have 2 NFC South teams make the playoffs, actually. And that also kind of points out to why the Buccaneers game is semi-important. But Nonetheless, I got the 49ers win this. Seahawks will be hungry, though. I think they'll go up like 10-0 in the first quarter. They'll be like, oh my God, we're beating the 49ers. And then the 49ers will say, nuh-uh. And they'll go out and win 31-20. Next up, and also, actually, if we're looking at the top, which I'll actually talk about that later. Vikings, Raiders. I got the Vikings despite, actually, who do I have? I'm changing this to the Raiders. Because here's the thing. The Vikings don't know who their quarterback is. Enough said. The Raiders have Jimmy Garoppolo and A.J. McConnell. Right? Yeah. They still got talent. Justin Jefferson, sure, he's coming back. But how can he come back good without knowing who his quarterback is? This is huge because when he got hurt, Kirk Cousins was still in. Now, he's coming back. Kirk Cousins not here. Oh, no. It's a lot easier when you have a starting quarterback who's been in the league for quite some time. So, I think the Raiders are going to win this. I think it'll be off a game-winning field goal. Give me the Raiders 19-17. Actually, no. 21-20. And the Raiders, again, they aren't really in the playoffs that much, but I think they will finish off with... They won't get a top 10 pick. I'll say that. Broncos, Chargers. Okay, so the Chargers... It's going to be a one-score game because it's the Chargers. We discussed that earlier. It's going to be a one-score game. It's the Chargers. But the Broncos... I got the Broncos winning this. And then they'll put them, actually... They have a genuine shot at the playoffs now. And you can look at their schedule. Their schedule seems pretty damn easy. Okay, Lions, they'll lose to the Lions. But then you got the Patriots, Chargers again, and Raiders. Those are three easily winnable games. They're definitely beating the Patriots. The Chargers, don't know because it's a division game. And Raiders don't know. But those are three. If they win out, they're going 10... If they win the rest of their games, assuming they lose to the Lions, they'll go 10-7, which that should be good enough for the playoffs. If not, they'll do 2021 Dolphins, and Dolphins fans know what I'm talking about. I got the Broncos winning this one. It's got to be by one score, so let's have a little bit of fun. 28-25, Justin Herbert throws a game-ending interception, because why not? Bills, Chiefs. So... Bills, honestly, are the most stable team and are one of the most silently... Because, like, the Bengals, they don't have a quarterback. Or I guess they have Jake Browning. I've been complimenting him this entire time. But the truth is, it's still not Joe Burrow. Indianapolis, they're not stable. Browns aren't stable. Steelers aren't stable because they don't all have their quarterbacks. Again, Colts don't got AR. Browns are starting Joe Flacco. Steelers, I don't know what Kenny Pickett's doing. So Bills are still 100% in this. Just like the Bengals are. Now, Bills-Chiefs. I got the Bills winning this. Call me crazy. The Chiefs, this is what happens every year. The Bills will beat the Chiefs at home. Or the Bills will beat the Chiefs in the regular season. And then if they face the Chiefs in the postseason, they'll get stomped on. It's going to be a semi-good game, but the Bills are going to win by like 2 scores. Give me the Bills 24 to... Actually, no, I'll make it one score. 24-17. This is a really good game, but it'll be exciting to watch. Josh Allen versus Patrick Mahomes, a classic. But the Bills always win in the regular season. The Chiefs always win in the postseason. That's how it's been for the past 2-3 years, and I think it'll continue that way. Next up, Eagles, Cowboys. Oh, boy. NFC, whoever wins this is winning the NFC East. That is the flat. Actually, no, because Eagles do have an easy schedule. Cowboys don't. Okay, if the Cowboys win this, they're up top on the NFC East. And if the Niners actually lose, again, I told you I was going to talk about this. If the Niners lose and the Lions lose, then the Cowboys will be up top, the NFC, the entire NFC, actually. So the Cowboys are still very much in contention for a first-round bye, just as much as San Francisco and Detroit are. Because San Francisco especially, because they just beat Philly, and Dallas might beat Philly, and if they both beat Philly, they both have the head-to-head record on them. And so, So Philadelphia is in trouble, especially if they lose to a very hungry Dallas team. And my opinion on this, hey, I don't even remember the last time Dak Prescott got swept at home. Sure, he has only 2 playoff wins. First playoff win, 2018 wild card against the Seahawks. They lost them in week 3. Last year against the Buccaneers, retired Tom Brady, by the way, and they lost them week 1. So, Dak Prescott never gets swept. Last time he got swept, I'm pretty sure, was 2016 against the Giants in his rookie year. So, Dak Prescott's win this game single-handedly for the Cowboys, 35-28, Dallas. We'll take the ones. No, I'm kidding. We won't take the 1 seed because the Niners are probably going to take the 1 seed, actually, if we beat Philly. But we will reign on top of the NFC East. Finally. We need it. Also, no one's won back-to-back in the NFC East since, 2000-something. Eagles in 04, 03, I think. Packers, Giants. Packers are going to win this. There's not really a debate there. And, again, like I said, the Packers have a cakewalk schedule, so I'm predicting them to win out. They could very easily win out. Packers are winning this. Let's go 21-6. Packers win. There's 2 Monday night games. Fun. Dolphins, Titans. I got the Dolphins winning this. It's a team. Here's my rule with the Dolphins. The Titans are 4-8. That's below 500. I got the Dolphins winning because the Dolphins will not beat a team above 500, and they'll always beat a team below 500. Dolphins win this game in dominating fashion, 38-14. Tyreek Hill is going to have another 150, 200-yard game. You know how he usually does. I got Jalen Ramsey getting a pick. Will Levis will be contained for the entire game, and he'll be under duress because, especially if they don't have Derrick Henry. If they don't have Derrick Henry, it's going to be 38-7. So, yeah, that's not both the Monday night games aren't that good. But I am looking forward for the Cowboys-Eagles game. That is going to be fun. Again, thanks for watching, guys. Haven't done one in a while. But subscribe. See ya.